Oh, hi, everybody. I hope that you had the most epic and amazing 5-day weekend ever, complete with snow and just coziness. And I just hope everybody had the best weekend. It was such a cool weekend weather-wise. And now the snow is like basically gone. Like I just took the dogs out and it's beautiful and sunny and the roads are basically dry. I walked downtown and there was just like one huge snowball sitting in the middle of the grass by Capitol Lake, and it just made me laugh because it's like green grass everywhere you look, and then this one giant lonely snowball. Anyway, hello. I only get y'all for one day this week. So I'll have first and second on Wednesday, and I'll have fourth, fifth, and sixth on Thursday. So I kind of had to rethink my lesson plans a little bit. Next week, not this week, but next week, I am intending to have you do a little bit more with the Delight brainstorm that you created and kind of expand on that and write about it a little bit. And I will have you read some more of Ross Gay's essays from the Book of Delights. But I didn't want to rush it. And since I've only got you for 2 days this week, I decided to do something a little bit different. And it shouldn't take very long because I want to honor your time. I know that you have other stuff going on, and I only have you for 1 day this week. So let me show you what I came up with. All right, so here's our calendar. Obviously, there was no school Monday or Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. As soon as if you're watching this, you don't care because you already know how to find my video instructions, but I will link it right here as soon as I've got it recorded and uploaded. So what you're going to do this week is you are going to respond to 2 different discussion boards, and that's it. And it should take you, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes total. One of them requires you to share our unit with somebody else. So anyway, let me just show you the instructions before I explain it all. All right, so I linked to the instructions on this Google Doc, and then you can also find the instructions just in the discussion board. But just so you have, 2 different places where you can find the info. And also this Google Doc gives you the background on Ross Gay again, the definition of delight again, and then I also linked you to the preface that you read last week to the Book of Delights, in case you needed a refresher. Willow, hush. In case you needed a refresher on why he wrote the book and what his intentions were, what he hoped his readers would get out of it, because you're going to have to explain that to somebody else. And that is the first discussion post that you're going to make. So all of that info is here if you need to look back on it and just be refreshed on what we did last week. Okay, so here are the discussion board instructions. So there's 2 discussion boards, and so let's look at the first one. This first one is highlighted in light orange. So this is called Share Our Delight Unit with someone. And so let's just read through the steps together. Step 1, you're going to talk to someone. You're going to have a conversation about our Delight Unit with anybody. I don't care who it is. It could be someone in your family, a parent, a sibling, an other family member, or it could be a friend. I don't even care if it's somebody who has my class, because I think it would still be beneficial to talk about, what each of you, how each of you perceived the unit, and excuse me. How each of you perceived the unit and what you got out of it. So basically, you're just going to tell someone, hey, this is what we did last week. We're learning about this. We're learning about this guy, Ross Gay. He wrote this book called The Book of Delights. Here's why he wrote it. Here's what he hoped his reader would get out of it. Here's what his definition of delight is. Hopefully, you will share 1 or 2 of your delights with this person. And then they need to respond to you. So whatever they say, maybe they tell you about what they think of the unit, or maybe they tell you, a delight that they have in their life, whatever. Basically, just have a conversation with someone about delight. I have been doing this for the last 3 weeks since I started planning this unit, and I've loved it because I have been talking about delight with my parents and my brother and my sisters and my friend Bethany, and it's it's just been really cool to kind of notice delight and to talk about it with people. And then they start noticing it. And then it just kind of like builds into this delightful snowball of delight. So you're going to talk to someone, you're going to have a conversation about the unit, you're going to get their feedback, see what they think, and then you're going to share their responses. So you should probably let them know that you are talking to them about this for an assignment and that you're going to report their answers. You don't have to share their name. So in the discussion board, you need to tell us who you had your conversation with, and you don't have to say their name. You can just say like family member or friend. You don't need to identify them if they're not comfortable with that or if you're not comfortable with that. And then 2, describe their response to our unit or any delights that they shared with you. Okay, so the whole point of this is I just want you to talk to somebody else about it and then share with us like what they said, what their response was. Okay, all right, that's the first discussion. The second discussion is amazing, and I'm really excited to read this. So your delights from this week. It could be the last 2 weeks. It could be the last 2 days. I don't care. I want you to think of 3 things that delighted you in your life over the past week, maybe even just in the last couple days. Be specific. So I did notice when I was grading people's brainstorms, a lot of people did a really nice job identifying really specific things that delighted them, things that people have said to them, animals in tiny hats, anime food. Just like very specific things. Some people just made a list of things like family, food, sleep, TV. I want you to be more specific. So 3 specific things that brought you delight this week. I'll share one of mine with you right now. I just got a late Valentine's package in the mail from my mom, and she made me her sugar cookies that she's been making for my whole entire life. And just like opening the box and smelling that sugar cookie smell just brought back so many good memories of, holidays and childhood and my mom's cooking. And it was an absolute delight. So be specific. I wouldn't just say cookies or my mom or even my mom's cookies. Be specific. What about the cookies delights you specifically? Okay. So 3 things. And then you are going to respond to at least 3 of your peers' posts. And as you always are, you're going to be thoughtful and kind and positive and maybe even inquisitive, ask them a question, and life affirming. You're going to make them feel good about what they posted and kind of back them up and, just make them feel heard and seen and listened to. All right. So that's it. That's what you're doing this week. And, my computer's froze. Okay. So you can find those directions right here on the Canvas homepage. I linked them right here on this calendar. Or you can go to discussions and you can find, I just realized something. Just realized I posted one discussion board for everybody instead of one for each class. So I'm just thinking out loud. I may need to go back in and fix that for grading purposes, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just have you all respond to each other. Okay, so you can find both of the discussions here under discussions. So here's the share our delight unit with someone. It just has those same directions. And then you would just, post your response down here. And the other one you can see is right here, where you post your delights from the week, 3 of your own, and then responding to 3 of your peers' posts. And these are both graded, so make sure you're doing all the steps. Don't just post 3 delights and then not respond to any of your peers' posts because you only get half credit. Okay. I also wanted to point out that I found a way to link the Padlets that we did from last week, where you talked about all your different delights, in our discussion board. And so actually I should pin these so they're right at the top. But yeah, each different class period has, you can click on it and you can see the Padlet that we made on Thursday. And you can totally still add to it if you would like, just by clicking that little pink circle with the plus in it. And I put that on the page because I just absolutely loved this activity. I loved reading through the things that delighted you, and I thought if someone was having a hard time coming up with something that delighted them, they could go back and look at the Padlet and be reminded of all the different things that bring them delight and their classmates delight. Is there anything else I want to tell you? The discussion board posts are due by Saturday, as usual, at 8 p.m. So, maybe over the next day or two, you can think on your delights and just kind of notice things during your day that delight you. I mean, I could think of probably like 100, but I think you might get sick of me talking about all my delights. And I think this video would probably be a little bit too long. I think that's it. Be sure to go to your advisory this week. If you don't usually go, you should be going anyway. But this week, your advisor is going to be helping you put together, bless you, Willow, your schedule for next year. So you definitely want to go so that you don't just get put in some random classes that you're not interested in taking. All right. I love you guys so very much. And I am very excited to see you on Wednesday and Thursday and talk about our delights. And have a good evening, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.